The first time I put on my laboratory coat, I felt like a very real scientist. So being able to do all these hands-on things has given me a lot of confidence in that I'm able to do this once I graduate.
The facilities really do replicate what we find in industry, down to the smallest detail. So the kind of equipment that's used and the training manuals and protocols we adopt are all mapped into industry standards.
These mock wards are almost entirely the same as what we would find on the NHS or any other hospital for that matter. By using the imitation patients, we can develop the tools we need to deal with real-life scenarios in a safe and efficient manner.
So whenever we're using these facilities, our teachers emphasise that these are going to be exactly the same as they will be in the real world. The skills we use in the microscopes and the microbiology labs that we use are going to be very similar when we go into the real-world environment.
We're continually investing in our facilities at Derby to ensure that our students have the best learning environment where they can thrive and prosper in the subjects that they're studying, such as our new business school investment. That is to ensure that our students have the state-of-the-art facilities and that connection to industry is really vibrant within the school.
As a student, I get access to 3 studios, a dark room, multiple enlargers where I can work on black and white analog photography as well as colour analog photography, and also the Media Loan Hub where I can borrow professional equipment. Having access to industry standard equipment allows me to hone my skills as a photographer and build my portfolio and experience for my future career without the financial barrier of having to afford the equipment myself.
Real world learning is really at the heart of what the University of Derby does, giving students the opportunity to not only learn the necessary skills and competencies, but also make a difference to employers. And a great example of how that's done is by using things like case studies and live briefs, which are directed and informed by the employers themselves.
One I worked with was with a local company who wanted to improve their marketing, and we offered a proposal to the company in the form of a presentation. So we analysed their current offerings, their current marketing, the good points to maintain, the areas of improvement. We then offered our solutions, our creative ideas of things they could implement, and ways of reflecting on whether they were effective or not in the future.
We strongly encourage all of our students to gain work experience while they study with us. So they have options of doing short internship, work experience opportunities, or taking year-long placements between their second and third year of study. In terms of those placement examples, students have worked within small organisations to international organisations, both locally to internationally. Examples include Pirelli, JCB, Disney, Mazars, and so on.
Approximately 2/3 of our learning is placement. These placements can be anything from a surgical placement on a ward to a place out in the community, working with a community nurse. When I got onto the ward, the staff were very welcoming, made me feel like part of the team. At the end of my first placement, I was a lot less frightened, if you would, to go on to my second one, as I knew what a placement would involve. And I feel like that every placement after my first one is just getting better, and as you gain knowledge, the job gets a lot easier.
Career progression, employability prospects are really central to all of our programmes. So almost from the very first day, we're preparing students for that exit and the entry into the world of employment.
We work with a number of external partners across all of our programmes in the business school, and they work both in terms of informing the curriculum, helping when we're designing programmes, but also in terms of the delivery. So we have a number of external organisations that will come in and give guest lectures, talking about the industry that they're working in and offering advice to students in terms of how they progress into that potential career. But also we incorporate our relationship with those organisations in terms of the curriculum and assessments.
And I think the University of Derby does a great job with having a wide range of assessments. Yes, some of the standard things that you may expect, like essays, reports and presentations, but a whole range of really creative and innovative assessment types, from comics to podcasts, designs to game design, which are really relevant to the individual context within student study. It's applied, it's authentic, and it gives the students a real strong sense of ownership. It means something to them and the employers that ultimately will employ them.
This would be my second degree that I'm going for. I previously had another degree in another university, and I've felt this experience is a lot different. I really do feel that the teachers here genuinely care about my education, and not even just my education, but my well-being while studying.
The lecturers at the university are incredibly supportive. They offer support in a multitude of ways. So you have your lectures where you learn about the content and the theory, and then you have seminars, which is the opportunity to discuss what you've just learned and to have a debate and discussion with your peers. And it's okay if you don't agree with your lecturer or your peers. The purpose is that everyone gets to express their ideas and back it up with academic research. So it's great to kind of develop that skill, which you don't necessarily learn in previous education. University is much more about independent thinking, being critical and very self-aware.
The lecturers help us with any query that we may have. If we are struggling with an exam, we can have a face-to-face tutorial, one-to-one, where they will assist us with any queries that we may have about the exam. As the vast majority of these lecturers are practicing nurses themselves, they know that all the material that they teach and provide us with in simulated environment is of top quality and is of a standard that we can use for the real world.
So the University of Derby assigns a personal academic tutor for every student, which we call our PATs. And you're able to go to them for any advice that you want and need.
They can discuss your personal development, professional development, academic development. So if there's anything you're struggling with academically, whether it's referencing or essay writing or presenting, you do have the opportunity to express these concerns with the lecturer, who will then give you advice and support and feedback on how to develop and improve. They're basically there to help and support you as much as they can so that you can achieve your full potential.